Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we're going to talk about these people, Xbox. So, you may have heard recently that there was some little rumor doomers, definitely some doomer rumors, about Xbox and the future of their business. To give you the quick and the long and the short of it, is that there was some leaks and some rumors that are probably going to be confirmed next week because Phil Spencer already came out and said we're going to talk about Xbox as a business next week. And that is that Xbox is going to be publishing some of its games on other platforms that are not the Xbox and the PC. Some of the main ones that have been talked about is Starfield being put onto PlayStation 5, the upcoming Indiana Jones game coming to PlayStation 5, and potentially long-time Xbox exclusive titles like Gears of War coming to PlayStation 5. And then, of course, everyone's like, well, what about Hellblade? What about freaking Fable? What about Halo? Is Halo gonna end up on PlayStation? What? Are they gonna put out Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation? What? And it's like, and then like when these rumors came out and people started to like find that there was credibility to the rumors behind them, then we got into the weird reactionism of gamers on the internet, which is people being like, oh my God, fuck Xbox. Xbox is here. They've betrayed us. They've stabbed us in the back. They're selling out to PlayStation. They're giving up. They have lost the console war. They have lost their integrity. They have lost their loyalty of their fan base and their customer base, and they will never be supported again. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, honestly, I've never understood the idea behind the console war, okay? Now, I understand in our aggressive late-stage capitalistic society that competition is a good thing, because if one company, one entity, one power controls everything, then we are fucking screwed. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing when it comes to the current capitalist landscape. We're already screwed. We are already fucked. I don't know if you've put together the pieces yet or not, but we're already screwed because everything is owned by like 10 companies, okay? Everything. And it's not even the companies that you think. It's not even like Microsoft and Apple and Amazon and Intel and Nvidia. Like it's companies that you've never fucking heard of. It's companies like BlackRock and State Street and shit like that, okay? There is like 10 companies that own each other and literally everyone else. And when it comes to this console war shit, like we were always losing anyway. Always. Because the moment, like before the first $70 game was announced, okay? Before the first $70 game came out, those companies had already talked. They had already talked in nice closed little backdoor meetings about like, man, I think we need to get some more money. How are we gonna do that? Well, we could charge $10 more for games. We haven't raised the price of games in a while. Relax, man. And they went, yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, who's gonna announce it first, right? Like, who's gonna do that? They are all in this together. You think that rent is going up in one place because just one group of people suck? No, it's a collective of people that control and run everything that are all in it together for profit. That is the whole point and purpose, all right? And so when it comes to the idea that something like Xbox games are going to be on PlayStation, being upset about that, like one, from a not being concerned about the state of the capitalist hellscape that we live in, is silly. Because one, we've already lost, but even if you ignore the fact that we've already lost at a level, on a consumer level, the other thing is that this otherwise only benefits gamers. You will have, everyone is concerned about, oh man, I hope that this studio doesn't get shut down because it didn't sell enough copies. You know what fucking sucks? When a good game, a good studio loses out because of like publishing bullshit of they only got published on like Epic Game Store and nothing gets fucking sold on Epic Game Store, right? Or games that might have a decent chance of success if they were on more platforms. We're going to be looking at games like Foamstars, which is going only to PlayStation PlayStation 4 and 5, published by Square Enix, by every account, is a pretty fun game from everyone that has gotten to try it. It releases today or something like that. And the thing about that is, though, is that it is only on PS4 and only on PS5. Thankfully, that is one of the largest bases ever. Hideo Kojima, shut the fuck up, you goddamn weirdo. It's one of the largest install bases ever. But the thing also there is that a lot of people on PC really enjoy shooter games. People have made endless comparisons of Foamstars to Splatoon. And Splatoon is on Nintendo Switch. And then like Xbox is just, as Xbox normally is, just sitting out there going, hi guys, I exist too. And everyone goes, nobody cares. But a game like Foamstars might have a better chance of success if it was on more platforms. Now, yeah, it's not a guarantee, but it could. And so when it comes to games being on more platforms, that means that more people get to play and enjoy the games that you already play and enjoy if you already have that platform. Like, there was a huge amount of people that were pissed when it was announced that Starfield was only going to be on Xbox and PC. Like, I understand that's upsetting because a whole bunch of people that enjoyed games like Elder Scrolls and Fallout are like, I own a PlayStation 5 and I don't get to play this game from the studio that I like a lot. That fucking sucks. That sucks for everyone. Someone else missing out does not improve your experience. And if it does, you should probably ask yourself some really important personal questions about why you derive satisfaction over someone else's disappointment when all they're wanting to do is enjoy a piece of media. And it's not like that piece of media is harmful. It's not like it's offensive or illegal or anything like that. It is just a video game that is a normal video-ass video game. So you shouldn't derive joy out of someone else missing out, because that's kind of messed up and evil. And so Starfield going to PlayStation is a great thing. More people will get to enjoy Starfield because I am in such a wonderful privileged position that I have a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series S, both sitting upstairs, and a PC downstairs. I'm able to pay for Game Pass, and I have access to shit whenever the fuck I want at a whim, right? But that is not how a whole bunch of people work, how a whole bunch of their lives operate. Instead, what happens is often people have to make the decision of what console they are going to buy. And if a game doesn't come to that console, that fucking sucks for them. And I don't get joy out of that fucking sucking, right? I'm like, man, I'm really sorry that you, because of life circumstances that are largely out of your control, because if we want to bring it back to horrible capitalist hellscape society that is controlled by a small group of people that only derive joy out of making us all suffer as long as they make more money, they can't just go out and buy another console, right? So this means that they get to enjoy things that you also enjoy. And when it comes to games that need a player base, whether that's like Helldivers 2 or Exoprimal or freaking Warframe or Final Fantasy or whatever, right? Games as a service, there's always the question about like how much do we like want games as a service, but regardless, even like not games as a service, like a fighting game or something like Warzone is very much a game as a service now, but like old school multiplayer Call of Duty, right? Like you need players for that. And so if crossplay is enabled and this game is across multiple platforms, that's just a good thing. That's only beneficial to all of us. And so I do not understand where people are like, Xbox has betrayed us. Xbox has abandoned their fans. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because first off, Xbox is a business, and it's an American business, and it's one of the most profitable, well, not Xbox, but Microsoft is one of the most profitable American businesses ever. Their valuation is what, $2-3 trillion now is what that company is worth. I think it's $3 trillion, which is fucking gross, by the way. And so like their concern, their goal, their mission, their only job in life as a company is to make money, and not just make some money, make all of the money, every possible cent. And we know that it's been kind of difficult for them to find profit in Xbox, right? Like they have been struggling because they have lost the console war, whatever the fuck that means. And so they're like, how can we make money? Well, guess what? PlayStation 4 has like, how many PlayStation 4s were sold? Like 115 million or some insane fucking number. And the number of PlayStation 5s is just like soaring off into the sky. And like, yeah, they're not going to be happy about losing 30% of their profit to PlayStation taking a cut of that. But you know what they are going to enjoy? Selling millions more copies to people on PlayStation. And if it's a game that you want to play with other people, guess what you get to enjoy? Millions more people having that game. They're a corporation. One of the most largest, most powerful, most valuable corporations in the world, and they're concerned with making money. And they already make like $6 billion a year off of Game Pass, okay? And if you've watched this channel at all, you know that I am a filthy fucking shill when it comes to Game Pass, because I think Game Pass is a fantastic value, because I mentioned shitty games like Exoprimal and Redfall, and you know what was nice is I only had to spend $10 to play both of them, instead of spending $60 or $70 each and then regretting my purchase up and down the street. Because for the full year that I pay for Game Pass, or $120 or $180 if you pay for Ultimate, those two games were $140 if I would have bought them separately, which is essentially the same cost of Game Pass. And that doesn't include me getting to play things like Starfield or lots of other games that have come out. I played Persona 5 through Game Pass, right? I'm playing Lies of P, or about to finish Lies of P through Game Pass, right? Like, if it wasn't for Game Pass, like, I've gotten to experience so many games that I might not have been willing to buy or experience otherwise. And that's awesome. That's great. And that's why I still cheer for Game Pass, because all of the developers that have been on it have been like, yeah, Game Pass was really good for us. We got paid by Microsoft. It helped secure our finances, and a lot of people played the game that might have otherwise not. And then on top of that, it makes Microsoft a bunch of money. So, like, I don't understand why the idea of Xbox publishing games on other platforms for some reason is this horribly offensive thing. I don't get it. And if it's just like weird freaking like culture war brand loyalty, like, why are you defending a multi-trillion dollar corporation? They don't care. They do not give a shit if it means that they make a few extra cents. As long as their stock keeps going up and their bottom line doesn't go down, they will do literally anything. And that goes for all of them. That goes for PlayStation, that goes for Nintendo, absolutely Microsoft and Xbox, and basically any other multi-billion, multi-trillion dollar corporation that you might think gives a damn. They give a damn as long as it makes money. And that even includes like their messaging, right? Like, if it meant that they made more money, they would go out and tell people to kill children, because they'd be like, hey, does that equal profits? Does killing children equal profits? For some of them it does. Look at you, Nestle, fuck you. And so that's the thing, is that this does suck, but it's not for the reasons that you think. Xbox putting games onto PlayStation, ultimately for us as consumers, is largely a good thing. Xbox's hardware isn't going anywhere. They need to sell Game Pass, and I don't think Game Pass is going to find its way onto PlayStation, because then you'd need a Game Pass subscription and a PlayStation Plus subscription, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation just really doesn't want Game Pass on their platform, because PlayStation really fucking hates Game Pass, because Game Pass is doing really, really well, right? It's doing phenomenal. It's doing fantastic. And so they don't want to further encourage people when it comes to Game Pass. So I don't see that being a potential. I don't see Game Pass being on Nintendo Switch either, because like fucking like 85% of the games wouldn't work on Nintendo Switch. Now the Switch 2, maybe, but that hasn't been announced yet. It's probably going to be announced within the next 2 weeks to 4 months, depending on Nintendo's plan and schedule. But regardless of that, why are you so angry? Why are you so upset? That does question, wasn't there a combo time with Origin Access, the EA Game Pass, or was that just Xbox? I forgot. I do believe Origin Access had a combo with EA Access, and now EA Play is part of Game Pass. I don't think Origin Access is. I think that's still its own separate thing, or maybe Origin Access is over and it's just all EA Play, because you have EA Play and EA Play Pro, and EA Play is bundled in with Xbox Game Pass. So if it's only a Pro-only game, you don't get access to those, but if it's an EA Play game, you do get access to those, which is why, like, when Wild's Heart released, you could only play like 10 hours of it at launch. And then after it got moved from EA Play Pro to EA Play, now you can play through Wild Hearts entirely through Game Pass. So, yeah. Also, who knows? Maybe Electronic Arts is going to get purchased soon by somebody, because it fucking could happen. But ultimately, I don't understand. And I don't think that you can make me understand, because like a lot of everyone that's involved in this conversation, they're already set in their ways. They've already sworn off of Xbox. They've already started throwing their Xboxes out of windows and showing themselves freaking swinging bats at them and shit. Like, I'm destroying my Series S because Xbox has betrayed me. And I'm like, you rage baiting motherfucker. Like, I know how to get clicks on the internet too. Watch me be offensive. But it should be a good thing for gamers, because more people get to experience the games that we like. More studios will find more success because they'll be able to reach across a broader platform, a broader number of platforms. We'll have more people playing the games than we need people to be playing multiplayer on. And ultimately, it means that Microsoft is going to make more money, and that if they're making more money off of their games, you know what they're going to do? They're going to support their games more. Because, again, they want to make money. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to find more ways to make more money. And so if they find that this strategy works of, let's take Indiana Jones, and maybe they'll do a short exclusivity window. Maybe we can sell a few extra Xboxes by putting our game out only on Xbox and PC for the first 6 months, right? And then after that, we'll release it to PlayStation. And a game like Indiana Jones, that could possibly sell more Xboxes, right? It's no different than what PlayStation does with a lot of their shit of like, yeah, we're gonna make this a PlayStation exclusive for 1 or 2 years, and then afterwards we'll put it on everything else when we think we've squeezed everything we can out of it in the exclusivity window. That's why you see like a lot of Final Fantasy games go exclusive. That's why you see a whole lot of like PlayStation games. They're finally putting PlayStation games on PC because they realize that they can just make more money by doing that. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine, because as long as it's done well, it benefits us and it benefits them in this gross symbiotic relationship that we have, where they suck as much money out of our pockets as they can, and we hope that they give us the smallest amount of joy that we can achieve from them, and just try to make it until tomorrow or the day after, so that we don't have to think about our lowly existences day in and day out. This Blade trailer has Blade twice now. That's interesting. I know that we didn't make it all the way back around, but regardless of that, so yeah, they're probably going to come out and they're probably going to announce that they're going to start putting particular Xbox games onto PlayStation. And you know what? That's fine. That's ultimately fine. They're not betraying you. They're still going to be publishing games. I don't think that they're going to go third party at all, because they want to sell Xboxes. They want people to want their games. They want people to want their hardware, but they also want to make every possible cent that they absolutely can. So you're probably going to see Blade on PlayStation. You're probably going to see Indiana Jones and Starfield and Gears of War and probably Fable. Like, it's going to happen, because that's the reality that we are always reaching towards anyway. And will PlayStation put games on Xbox? I don't know. Like, probably not initially, but here's the thing, is that I've talked a lot about how these companies are really, really gross and they just want to make money, right? They are trying to find ways to have unsustainable growth be sustained as long as possible. But the problem therein is that unsustainable growth is exactly what I said. It is unsustainable. You cannot keep that up forever. That's why you see them publishing games and immediately firing 11,000 people so that they can try and cut down their costs as much as they can to try and increase their profits as much as they can. That's why you see companies hiring at lower wages and hiring less people and, raising their prices all over the place and trying to find new ways to make money. That's why you see, even in your retail stores, less staff, less registers. Their staff are paid worse, relatively speaking, in terms of comparatively to the amount of money that is being made by those same employees, productivity versus actual wage compensation. And then they're like, crap, what do we do to make money? Well, we can raise our prices a little bit more, but we can't price out our customers. What can we do instead? Got it. We can drain them of money by burdening them with debt, which is why every single company now asks if you want a credit card with them, because a credit card is just a permanent line of extra money because that they just get to suck from you forever, as long as you carry a balance on that credit card. That's why when you go to Lowe's, they're like, do you want a Lowe's frickin' business? Well, it's not called a business card. What the fuck is it? It's called like a, I can't remember what it's called, but it's why like every company now has a credit card. Even companies that it doesn't make sense to have a credit card. They will offer you a credit card because that is extra money for the company, because it's just money flowing in, money that is owed to them, money that they get to say, hey, we're collecting this off of our credit and all of that crap. So, in closing, yes, Xbox is going to put games on PlayStation. They will probably have exclusivity windows on their platforms. It will ultimately be better for us in the long run because you will see more games across more platforms get more support. And we will continue to exist within this shithole that we have found ourselves in. And if you feel otherwise, you are most welcome to explain everything that you feel down in the comments below. But if you are only angry because you feel as though someone else is getting something that previously was only yours, I want you to genuinely ask yourself why you derive pleasure from that, or frustration from no longer having that, because that concerns me. And just ask yourself what that says about you and what that means. And if you're frustrated because like you own an Xbox and somebody else owns a PlayStation and they're getting games like Spider-Man and you aren't, them not getting something that you have does not make that situation better. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to make this shut up now. I'm just going to say I stream on Twitch. I got lots of videos on the YouTube channel. If you come check us out on Twitch, I'll be happy to see you. If you do, check us out on live stream, or if you watch another one of the videos, thank you and enjoy.